Hello everyone. Good evening, my fellow students. I'll be starting my presentation. First of all, a warm welcome to all of you, to all my dearest NEET aspirants. I hope you all are staying safe. You are staying inside your house because the situation is getting worse. But still, we cannot stop our studies. We have to go with it. So that is why today I am here with you to share my webinar that would be beneficial for your preparation. I hope so. So, my young doctors, treat this lockdown period to be an opportunity to study more. My students, please listen to this that God has given you a special opportunity. This is a golden chance because we didn't get this chance during our time. Whenever we are getting this type of chances, that means this is a great time to grab your success because it's high time, my students. Use this lockdown period in the best way you can because I know you are the best and you can definitely use it. Because if you treat this lockdown to be an excuse, then you are not going to be successful, my dear. If you are using it as an opportunity, then I can make sure definitely one government seat would be yours this year. Slide change, please. Now, there are few things that you should remember. That is, getting some extra time, that doesn't mean that you are getting a time for relaxing or having a break, because this break may cost a huge thing. Please don't make this lockdown to be a disadvantage of your career. Please, because it is an opportunity. Please, it's not a time to take a break. Do not lose the consistency of your study as you're getting some extra time. Please stay with your books, stay with your studies. Do not fix your mind to a definite cutoff. It may be expected from the previous years, but it can change as well. Yes, looking at the previous cutoffs, you are preparing your mind, you're fixing your mind to a definite cutoff. Okay, fine, I'll answer only this much. Even if you're knowing the rest of the things, you are not attempting them. Why? Because you're treating that, yeah, I know this much would be sufficient for me to be a doctor. No, please don't fix your mind to a definite cutoff. It can be expected, but do not treat it to be the last option. Keep on following the standard books. It may be the NCERT ones. It may be any standard books that your schools are asking you to follow. Please, no need to force you to study NCERT for 25, 50 times. No way. I'm not going to say that at all. Practice, practice, and practice. Practice the MCQs from the previous year's question papers and practice it from the previous NCERT exemplar questions, because that is very much beneficial. Be confident this year. One government seat would definitely be yours. I can make sure that. Slide change, please. Okay, before going to this portion, one thing you must clear that during the last month of study, that means the last month prior to your exam, do not read any new chapters. It's a great suggestion for you. Whatever you read for 2 years, wherever you have focused more, please stick to that. Don't force your brain to take too much load because your brain cannot afford it at this time. You're suffering from anxiety. What happens if I don't get it? No, stay confident. You are the best and only you can do that. Stick to that point. As per prioritizing the chapters, here I have prioritized the chapters based on that. I am not saying only read these portions. No way. Read the rest of the ones also. Do not skip any chapters. What I am saying, as per the number of questions that was in the previous year's papers, as per the important and the concept, the chapters which require more time, the chapters where your concept should be clear, I have prioritized the chapters. Again, I'm repeating, do not skip anyone, but first complete these ones and then go for the other ones. The most important ones are reproduction part, the genetics part, the human physiology, the whole part, the biotechnology principles and applications, the molecular basis of inheritance, the biodiversity, ecosystem, and the cell and cell division parts. That means from these portions, at least I have observed that 70% of the paper, that means you're among the 90 questions, you are getting most of them from these parts. Slide change, please. Here I am to give you some tips and tricks to get 650 plus score in NEET 2020. Some of the way outs for quick revision of your 2 years hard work. I know my students, you have worked hard day and night. Sometimes you got up early in the morning. Sometimes you slept late at night because your mind is totally sticking to this part. Yes, I will be a doctor. I am here. I am really, really wanting you to follow my tricks so that your dream must be fulfilled. Slide change, please. Okay, now after analyzing the previous year's papers, today I'll be discussing on few of the chapters, few important points. My students, for the medical exam, what you are going to, which skill you should develop, the skill of solving multiple choice types questions, because you are not going to write any 4-line or 5-line question over there. What should be your skill? The skill to answer, the skill to choose. I'll be developing on that. Now, this chapter, what I selected, the biotechnology part. Biotechnology is completely a different branch of biology. That means often my students are saying that, ma'am, from this part, can you please give us a cumulative or a complete note so that it would be beneficial for us to solve the things point-wise? Today, I'll be sharing that. Read out the descriptions and extract the needed points for self-study. Yes, for self-study, because you have to study. It's you. Those 3 hours when you will be appearing for the exams, it's completely yours and you have to rock over there. Slide change, please. I have prepared my notes based on the previous year's questions and the NCERT exemplar questions. So don't worry, you can follow my notes strictly. Recombinant DNA technology. The genetic engineering part, that is the technique for creating deliberate modification of a genome or a particular gene. This term, a particular gene. What are the tools? The enzymes, the vectors, and the host organism or the cell. The enzyme can be restriction endonuclease or it can be DNA ligase. But before going into detail, you should clear a few terms. That is, what is a DNA insert? The DNA segment of interest to be cloned is termed as DNA insert. The vector, what is the vector? The DNA molecules which have been employed as couriers or vehicles for carrying the foreign DNA fragment into the host. That means, suppose you are eating a food and getting infected. What will you say? Yes, somehow any insect or any house bee, it has carried the germ from any place and I got infected. So that particular house bee or that particular insect is the vector. That is the one that is carrying an allergen or any kind of harmful substance to your body. Slide change, please. Now, for your better understanding, I have explained the things diagrammatically. My students, remember, from the biotech part, you can expect 3 to 4 questions because these portions of biology are gaining the interest of the persons who are preparing the questions of NEET. So, these parts are really important. What I have explained over here, at first, the human cell containing the DNA is selected and it is cut by the enzyme restriction endonuclease. Then the DNA insert is produced. And on the right-hand part, there is a bacterial cell containing plasmid. What is a plasmid? A plasmid is the bacterial DNA. And it is again cut by the restriction endonuclease. Then the two of the portion are mixed or sealed or annealed. That means a fusion is taking place among them to form chimera. And this fusion is solely done by the enzyme DNA ligase, the enzyme which is causing the ligation. Then the chimera is devoid of cells. How to put cells into it? It has to be transformed. That is, transformation taking place into a particular host where it can be further cloned. Because We are in high need of these kinds of biotechnological products nowadays. Slide change, please. Restriction endonuclease. It is also called as the biological scissors. It cuts the DNA fragments at the specific sites. Remember the specific sites. Slide change, please. Yes. Here are some examples of restriction endonuclease. It can be HINT2, that means the Haemophilus influenzae is the source. EcoR1, the most important one. Escherichia coli is the source. BAM1, Bacillus amylofaciens is the source. Another one can be from the Haemophilus aegyptius, that is the HAE3. What you have to study, you can skip the site part, but you have to study the type of the end. Whether the end that it cuts, it is a blunt end or it's a sticky end. Slide change, please. Now, the DNA ligase. An enzyme that seals or anneals the nick. The nick means the gap between the DNA of the insert and the vector. What type of bond or what type of ligation is taking place? Phosphodiesterase bond between phosphate group of a 5' carbon and the hydroxyl group of deoxyribose sugar of 3' carbon. Here is PBR to an artificially prepared plasmid content Escherichia coli. And here I have drawn a picture of PBR322. It is containing two different resistance genes. On the left side, it is the ampicillin resistant gene. On the right side, it is the tetracycline resistant gene. There is origin of replication from where the replication happens and a recognition site. Slide change, please. Now, the cloning vectors can be of three types: plasmid vector, bacteriophage vector, or the cosmid vector. The plasmid vector is a small circular extra chromosomal self-replicating DNA. It can replicate itself. Present in the bacteria. Example, PBR322. Bacteriophage that can replicate within the bacteria. They either contain DNA or RNA. Example, phage lambda, phage M13. The lambda phage contains a head and a tail, distinct two portions. At the end of each DNA, there are single-stranded extension of 12 base pairs. Mark it, 12 base pairs, serving as cohesive ends or known as the cos ends. The linear DNA of the phage enter through a process called transfection. Previously, you learned transformation. Here it's the transfection. Contain insertion and replacement vectors, and cosmid vectors are the one which can accommodate DNA segments up to size 45 kb. For recombinant DNA technology, the fragments of DNA separated by a process called gel electrophoresis. Slide change, please. Before going into the polymerase chain reaction, I should say one thing. After analyzing the previous year papers, the most frequent questions are being asked from these DNA fragment vector part and the PCR parts, the correct order of the PCR. PCR, very much confusing, you think, but I think it's the most easiest part. PCR, you know its application nowadays to detect this coronavirus. It is most widely used. Now, the PCR consists of three processes: denaturation, renaturation, and the primer extension. Remember these three first and then go into detail. At first, in the denaturation step, the DNA gets separated to a single strand. That means by the application of heat at 94 degrees Celsius, you can separate the DNA. Now the renaturation part, cool down at 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, and it helps in the hybridization of the primer with complementary sequence. That means the complementary sequence of the primer binds to the renaturated or the previously single-stranded DNA. Now, the third part, that is the synthesis or the primer extension. Again, the heat is increased to 72 degrees Celsius. The polymerase synthesizes complementary strands of the primer. Mark this line. This is very important. That extends so that the DNA segments between the two are copied. Now comes the bioreactor. This is another system that is containing the agitator, the oxygen delivery systems, etc. You can follow the diagram from the Google as well. The products, that means why biotechnology is so important. The golden rice, the BT brinjal, the BT cotton, the ELISA, and the PCR, as I always said, it is used in detecting the SARS-CoV-2, that means the coronavirus. The gene therapy, the correction of a gene defect, that has been diagnosed in a child or embryo. Slide change, please. Now, before going into human physiology, in the previous years, some more things asked from the biotechnology part is few more terms. Biopiracy, that means the uses of the biosources by multinational companies without authorization from the concerned country. And remember another thing, that is the basmati rice. It is recently been patented by any other country, but it previously grown in India. Now, I'll enter to the next part by finishing this part, that please go through the point-wise study. Don't elaborate the things too much. Read the description, but extract what is needed. Now, the human physiology part, boring but scoring parts. You would definitely get questions from both movement and locomotion and the excretion parts, at least 2 questions from each part. That is 4 questions would be from there. Okay, previously I've discussed the rest of the chapters. Now I'll be discussing on the movement and locomotion and the excretion parts. Slide change, please. For movement and locomotion, remember few terms. Muscle twitch, that is the latent contraction or the relaxation. Muscle fatigue, the inability of the muscle to contract due to depletion of the chemical and lactic acid accumulation. Kymograph, it measures the muscle contraction. Muscle contraction mainly happens in the junction, that is the neuromuscular junction between the motor neuron and the sarcolemma of the muscle fibers. Here I have given a short note which type of bands are involved. The Z bands are attached to the actin filaments, pulled inward for contraction. I bands reduced, but the A band retains its length. A newly bound ATP gets hydrolyzed by myosin. The cycle of cross-bridge formation and breakage continues. Here, calcium ion plays a very important role. Slide change, please. The different types of bones. The long bones are the humerus and the femur. Short ones are the metacarpal phalanges. Flat ones, scapula, the sternum. Irregular ones, the vertebra. The femur is the longest one. The stapes is the shortest one. Fibula is the thinnest one. Tibia skin bones, longest in frog. Sternum is absent in fish. The fibrocartilage is the shortest cartilage. The general classification of the joints, because please memorize the correct location of the joints and revise them thoroughly. Joints are immovable, slightly movable, or freely movable. The freely movable ones are the ball and socket joint, the hinge joint, the pivot joint, the saddle joint, the ellipsoid joint, and the gliding joint. Slide change, please. The ellipsoid joint, that is the condyloid joints. Ribs are attached to the sternum. Remember this part. The cheekbones are the zygomatic ones. Clavicle is the constituent of the pectoral girdle. The knee and elbow joints are the hinge joints. Macrophages and leukocyte, it exhibits the amoeboid movement. I have used the points so that you can solve the MCQs, because you are not going to write long answers over here. The immovable joints are the sutures, slightly movable cartilage, and freely movable ball and socket joint, hinge joint. Ball and socket joint are the shoulder, hip joints, and hinge joint allow the movement in one plane. Pivot, one is fixed, other one is projected. The saddle one is the metacarpal and the thumb carpal. And the diseases associated with movement and locomotion parts are myasthenia gravis and the rheumatoid arthritis. Slide change, please. Now, before going to excretion, previous day I have shared 2 ways of remembering the stuffs easily. You have learned so many things, but there should be some tips or tricks to remember, right? So, how you can remember the stuffs easily? Previous day, I shared 2 ways. Put out the lights, and before going to bed, just close your eyes. Try to memorize the stuffs. The ones you cannot memorize, the next day, get up, And first read those parts and then go for the others. And the other one, the portions, when you are struggling, when you are observing that, yes, I cannot remember it, take a snap and put it as your WhatsApp wallpaper. But for today, I'll be sharing another 2 ways. Suppose when you are studying, you record your studies a bit, not the whole. I'm talking about a bit. And you are feeling bored. 2-3 hours you have studied. Now put your books away and listen to songs. How? First you listen one song and then listen to the voice note that you already recorded. And then again listen to another song. That means one song, your voice note, and again another song. And back to books. So you got refreshed and then also you studied. And another way is, suppose you are studying any flow chart or anything. Just draw it in a white page and affix it in the study desk. Whenever you are sitting for study, you will look into that definitely, and that thing would definitely be inside your brain. Your brain is not going to leave that part. These are the very, very easy ways to remember the stuffs. I hope that would be beneficial. How is it? I know it may be nice. I know you should like it. Now, the excretion part. I have used the diagrams that what I have drawn during my +2 level so that the presentation is quite attractive and catchy. Slide change, please. Now, the ammonotelic, that means the organisms that excrete ammonia as a material are amoeba, sponge. The ureotelic, that means the ones that excrete urea as an excretory material. Humans, whales, seals. The uricotelic ones are the ones that excrete uric acid. That means the birds, the snakes, the lizards. A large amount of carbon dioxide is excreted from the body. Slide change, please. Now, read the different parts of nephron and their functions diagrammatically. Draw the nephron so that you get familiar to the parts. In general, it is classified into Malpighian corpuscle containing glomerulus Bowman's capsule. Now the renal tubules containing proximal tubule, the Henle's loop, and the distal ones. And last, the collecting tubule. And read out their functions. Suppose some part is involved in the tubular reabsorption of important materials. Glomerulus is solely involved in the filtration part, and the collecting ones, they collect the filtrate that is obtained after the process completed up to the distal tubular parts. Podocyte cells are present in the glomerulus, helps in the filtration part. Slide change, please. Yes, this is a very confusing part. The RAS system, the renin, angiotensin, and the aldosterone system. I have drawn a flowchart. I have made it so that the things become easier to you. At first, angiotensin gets converted to angiotensin 1 with the help of renin that is secreted from the juxtaglomerular cell of the kidney. The angiotensin 1 gets converted to angiotensin 2 by the help of the enzyme angiotensin converting enzyme, or ACE. Now, this angiotensin 2 can bind to two different receptors, AT1, AT2. This angiotensin 2 can cause vasoconstriction. That means they can increase our blood pressure. And this angiotensin 2 produces aldosterone that causes sodium and water retention. That means increase in the blood pressure. Have you heard of the drugs like losartan? They are the angiotensin 2 AT1. That means the angiotensin 2 binding to the first receptor blocker. They block that receptor so that the aldosterone cannot be produced further. This way, how the RAS system works. I hope it is quite clear to you because I have drawn it in a simpler way. Slide change, please. Now the animal reproduction part. My students are often saying, ma'am, it's taking too much time for us to study. No way. I can give you a way out to revise this chapter within 2 hours. Done. Within 2 hours, this chapter would be fully done. Very scoring but time-taking part. Follow the way outs to quickly revise it in 2 hours. Slide change, please. Now, my student, remember, you are the best teacher of yourself during this lockdown period. Only you can evaluate yourself in the best way because you are totally inside your house. Be your own teacher. Be the best teacher to the best student in the world. This is the best way to grow confidence in yourself. Now, for this part, why I shared this point? Because this part is very much interesting so that your interests really grow in this part. Now, please study the reproduction part based on the histological diagram. That means the diagrams would make you understand the points easier. Suppose the testis that is formed by the seminiferous tubules lined by the geminal epithelium. The scrotum is a pouch of pigmented skin from the lower abdominal wall. Orchidectomy is the surgical removal of the testis. The epididymis is the Wolffian duct of embryo that gives rise to epididymis in adults. Just read the terms sequentially. Like the way I explained, read it sequentially. The vas deferens, it arises from the cauda epididymis, that means one part of the epididymis, and ascends to the abdomen. The ejaculatory duct passes through the prostrate and opens into the urethra. The accessory glands are the seminal vesicle situated behind the bladder, the prostrate single large gland that looks like a golf ball, and the cowpers, all the bulbo-urethral gland. Slide change, please. In short, the female reproductive system, of course, again, diagram-based study. Ovary, it is 2 in number. It is 1 centimeter thick, almond-shaped female gonads attached to the abdominal wall by mesovarium. Remember the term. The cortex of the ovary covered by tunica albuginea. The fluid of the antrum is called as the liquor folliculi. Just points so that you can answer the MCQ part. The fallopian tube where the fertilization occurs consists of isthmus, ampulla, infundibulum. The uterus where the implantation takes place, and the female accessory gland is the Bartholin's gland, whereas the male one is the Cowper's gland or the bulbo-urethral gland. Slide change, please. Now, the histological diagram or the TS, transverse section of seminiferous tubule. First, read it from the bottom part. That is, the basement membranes is the outermost lining. Then the spermatogonium, the primary spermatocyte, the secondary spermatocyte, the spermatids, and then comes the spermatozoa. And in the upper part, there is interstitial cells of Leydig, the Sertoli cells, the stroma. From the cells of Leydig, the testosterone is secreted. Slide change, please. The histological diagrams would definitely make the stuffs quite easier and quite catchy for you. So that instead of studying for long hours, you can just sit with the points, remember them, and solve the MCQ part. Often there are many students who are struggling too long for 2 hours, but they cannot crack the examination. Why? Because the method of studying may not be the exact one. So whatever method I am showing you, that must be, I hope that would be very much beneficial. Now, the histological structure of the ovary, it shows, remember the points because in the next slides, there would be application of these points. The corpus luteum, the degenerated corpus luteum, the primary oocyte within the follicle, the growing follicle, the mature follicles, the ovary, the ruptured follicles. There are so many types of follicle, and the site from where the ovulation happens, that is the secondary oocytes. Slide change, please. Now, the events of the spermatogenesis. Read in a schematic way. You have read a whole paragraph, but still only 10% of it is inside your 1.4 kg brain. What to do? Read in a schematic way. Like, some spermatogonia remain as precursor stem cells. From there, the spermatogonium is produced. First, mitosis happens. That means the number of chromosomes in spermatogonium was 2n and it remains as 2n. After that, differentiation happening, the primary spermatocyte is produced containing 2n number of chromosomes. Then happens the meiosis 1. That means the secondary spermatocyte is produced containing n number of chromosomes. Why? Because in meiosis 1, the number of chromosome gets halved. And then in meiosis 2, that is happening in the next stage, the number of chromosome remains same as the mitosis 1. Then from 2 secondary spermatocyte, 4 spermatids are produced. By a cytoplasmic bridge, they are attached so that after the production of 4 spermatids, it can grow into spermatozoa. And there is a process called the spermiogenesis. It is also a very important process. In human, there are 19 stages through which each spermatid differentiates and elongates into a mature sperm. This maturation is the second phase of spermatogenesis called as spermiogenesis. I hope the process spermiogenesis is also quite clear to you. Slide change, please. Now, the events of the oogenesis. The events of the oogenesis, don't read it in a lengthy way, in a too lengthy way. Same thing. Oogonium is there, 2n chromosome, primary oocyte containing 2n. Meiosis 1, chromosome number getting halved, secondary oocyte is produced, first polar body is produced. This secondary oocyte is again by the process meiosis 2 producing the ovum, which is further getting fused to a definite sperm so that it forms a zygote. And during that time, the second polar body is produced. So I hope it's the best way to remember and the easiest way to remember. Slide change, please. Now the menstrual cycle part. Lengthy, time-taking, but very much scoring. Because from the reproduction part, my students, you can get as much as 5 to 6 questions. So this part is very much important and time-taking, I know. But stick to your books, love them, fall in love with them, and they would definitely propose you back. I am ensuring that. Now the menstrual cycle, it occurs in few stages. At first, there is a menstrual phase. Read the uterine events and the ovarian events and the role of the hormones. Very important. The detachment of the fragments happen, that means causes the endometrial lining of the uterus. The rupture of the blood vessels, it causes the bleeding. Yes. And then the degeneration of the corpus luteum begins. The role of the enzyme is the high level of progesterone inhibits the GnRH, that means the gonadotropin releasing hormone. And the anterior pituitary suppress the release of LH, luteinizing hormone. As a result, what happens? Due to lack of LH, the progesterone level drops and the menstruation starts. The resting phase, that means here, the repairing of the damaged endometrium occurs and it becomes normal. The corpus luteum degenerates an immature primordial follicle. The role of hormone, due to absence of LH, the corpus luteum degenerates. At the end of the menstruation, less progesterone is there, I already said, which stimulates the production of FSH and RH from the hypothalamus part and the anterior pituitary respectively. And FSH stimulates an ovarian follicle to secrete the enzyme, to secrete the hormone estrogen, which in turn causes the repairing of the damaged endometrium. The follicular phase, the thickness of the endometrium continues. Maturation of primordia, this phase is controlled by FSH. Slide change, please. Ovulatory phase, very, very important phase. Uterine event is proliferation of the endometrium continues. In the ovary, the matured Graafian follicle ruptures. I already mentioned these parts in the histological diagram. The role of the hormones are increased secretion of estrogen in the previous phase inhibits pituitary to secrete FSH. But the increase in the secretion of LH happens. Premenstrual phase, that means the prior phase to happen, the menstruation, where further, yes, remember the number of days. That means ovulatory phase happens in the 14th days. How much? The premenstrual phase lies for the 15 to 28 days, like that. Remember the days. In the uterus, the further proliferation or the hypertrophy, that means the increase in size of endometrium occurs. The ruptured follicle converted into corpus luteum. I already discussed these parts in the histological diagrams. They were present, and the role of hormones are LH of the anterior pituitary stimulates the growth of the corpus luteum, and the secretion of progesterone increases. What I said in the first part of the cycle, LH was more, gradually it decreases, progesterone then go on decreasing, and ultimately the menstruation starts. I hope it's clear. It's quite easy to remember the points. If you have noted, it's very, very important. Slide change, please. Now, the structure of the Graafian follicle, it contains the theca externa, theca interna, intrum, the membrane granulosa, the secondary oocyte, and the discus proligerus. Slide change, please. Fertilization. Very interesting. The site is the ampulla of the fallopian tube. Time 12 to 18 day of the menstrual cycle is the best or the most fertile period. Process. Transport of the sperm. Capacitation. Series of functional changes causing the sperm's tail to beat even more vigorously and prepare the plasma membrane to fuse with the oocyte's plasma membrane. That means this process is called as the capacitation. The penetration of the sperm into the oocyte. The oocyte is surrounded by layers, number of layers, the corona radiata, the zona pellucida, the vitelline membrane. There is presence of ZP3 receptor. The transport of hyaluronidase enzyme secreted from sperm to zona pellucida of the oocyte. How the exchange of enzyme is causing the penetration of sperm into the oocyte. Remember this part. I'm going a bit slow so that it's quite audible and it enters into your mind. See, my students, you are spending 1 hour of your valuable time. This has to be worthy, and I hope this will be worthy. The formation of zygote, the male pronucleus, that is the last stage, the male pronucleus and the female pronucleus fuse to form a neonucleus, the zygote. Remember the simplest and the most important part. Slide change, please. Few more points to be remembered. The morula, it's a solid balls of cell looking like a mulberry, 16 to 32 cell stage. The blastula, it's a spherical mass consisting of the central cavity surrounded by a single layers of cell. The implantation is the part where attachment of the blastocyte to stratum basilis. Remember, the site where implantation happens is the fundus of the uterus. The parturition, the mature fetus, placenta, and the fetal membrane are expelled from the maternal uterus after completion of gestation. Yes, the best part of every woman's life, controlled by oxytocin and relaxin. The lactation, it's controlled by the hormone prolactin. Now, for the techniques, which are the artificial techniques, IVF, ZIFT, IUT, GIFT, ICSI, and AI, I can make a great point. I can give you a great idea to remember this. How? Remember the line. Am I good in zigzag way? Here the MIA, it's meaning the artificial insemination. The I, it's the ICSI. The good, G, the GIFT. The in, I, IVF or IUD. And zigzag, that is the Z for ZIFT or ZIFT. IVF is the test tube program, and ZIFT, that means zygote intrafallopian transfer. It's the zygote up to the 8 blastomeres stage transferred to the fallopian tube. The GIFT or the GIFT, the ovum of the donor female to another female incapable of producing ova. And AI is the semen of the healthy donor introduced into the uterus. So I'm repeating the line, am I good in zigzag way? Artificial insemination, ICSI, GIFT, IVF, ZIFT. I hope this is a great way to remember. Slide change, please. Follow a 3 days practice for each important chapters. How? First day, practice the exemplar questions. Now, check which of the portions you cannot memorize properly. The second day, revise the chapters for 2 hours. Suppose you have allotted that much of time of the day for biology study. Plus, 1 hour chapter-wise practice. Chapter-wise practice. Which chapter you chosen, just practice that part. Third day, practice the previous year's paper and go for questions of that chapter from the entire mock test paper. From the entire mock test paper, whichever questions you are solving. So that a 3 days regimen or a 3 days treatment can be a great catalyst to help you to crack the examination. I hope this 3-day practice theory would be a very beneficial one. Follow this so that your practice doesn't get slowed down by any influence of any factors, whether it's a lockdown or it's anything. You have got extra time for more study, not to study less. Okay, I hope you can understand my point really well. Whichever portions I discussed today, from that portions, very, very important questions are being asked in the previous years. There are numerous questions. I have just gone through the 3 to 4 years question papers so that the things become easier to you. For the last night study, please reduce your anxiety. Strictly remember, slide change. Now strictly remember, do not read new chapters for the last one. You are the best. Whatever you have studied, that's sufficient. Revise it. Because if you go on learning the new things, no, you would definitely forget the previous ones, and the new things also would not stay inside your mind. Please stick to this point. For the last month, please do not force your brain to take some more things. Rather, you practice whatever you studied. Now, you got plenty of times, my dear, so please practice more. The only key to success is your practice previous year's MCQ. I have shared my notes so that you can solve the MCQs in a better format. Fall in love with the questions and don't let them leave you before your NEET. Please, it's a humble request. Slide change, please. You are the upcoming pillars of the medical science. This kind of pandemic, which is causing a threat to the country, to the whole world, you will be the one just treating this pandemic. You can directly involve yourself because you will be there with the most noble profession. You will be the upcoming doctors. So stay focused so that you can also serve your nation in the future. This is the best way you can control your anxiety. This is the best way you can study more. These 2-3 months would definitely make your career instead of breaking it. That's a hope from my side. Slide change, please. Thank you. This presentation is being made by Momoy Chakraborty. I hope you liked it, and yes, I hope it would be much beneficial. I'll be waiting for your feedbacks. Please study more, study hard, stay fit, stay safe, stay home.
Anyone has any question, any doubt that they want to clear? Is there any question from the students who has attended this webinar?
Yes, I got a reply. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Oh, you're most welcome, my dear. All my stuffs are only for you guys, so that you guys be successful. Very useful content. Thank you. Thank you so much. Why are you guys thanking me? I should thank you for spending. You guys have spent 1 hour of yours. It's a really valuable time. I'm extremely sorry if I bored you, but I have tried to make my preparation in the best way I can. Yes, I have got another reply. Oh, no need to thank me, my dear. You guys are all successful. You guys are the best in the way you are. So stay confident. I know your names would be changing because there would be a doctor just before your name. I'm asking that if any doubt is still there, you can ask me. You can just send me. You have already got my name. You can contact me in any way you want. You can ask your questions and ask for my guidance anytime. I'll be there. Just stay confident because I want my students to be confident.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Thank you then. I think they don't have any queries further. So let's wrap it up. So
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we will share the feedback with you, ma'am. Then.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.